What's up, everybody, man? Hey, today I want to tell you a little story, man. It's going to be a few minutes, so hopefully it's not too long for everybody. But last night, me and my wife rode over to her parents' house, talking. It's always a good time when you go over there, man. My father-in-law, he is a big, he's my mentor, man, to be real with you. Dude is amazing, right? He's lived that life, and now he's changed. He lives for the Lord, right? Rides with the Remnant Sons. Shout out to them. What they do is amazing, right? But we were talking, and my mother-in-law told me last night, she asked me to try something, right? And as she's explaining to me what she'd like for me to try, it was trusting in God all the way, right? See, I get real paranoid about stuff. I got a dog that I don't let around people because, he's my dog. And I feel like, he'll be the protector of my house if I needed him to, right? As we're talking, she says, Bob, you need to learn to trust in God. He'll take all the fear and the paranoia away from you, right? That's hard for me. Somebody that's lived like I've lived, done the bad things that I've done to people, the violence. You never know what's coming, right? So you always got to keep your guard up. But I'm going to tell you something, man. It's tearing me up having to live like that, right? So as she tells me, trust the process. We get to talking. And at one point in time, I had to go to the Pacific Garden Missions in Chicago, Illinois. I was living in Columbus, Ohio. I was completely strung out. It's when I started shooting heroin real bad, right? I was smoking crack, shooting heroin. I was doing it was no more hustling. That is a part of my life when I became homeless. I was panhandling in the streets. For real, same clothes on, I was that guy that you see on the side of the store looking nasty, begging for change, right? That was me. And when I was in Chicago, Illinois, I didn't want to get clean. I didn't want to be there. I had to go there. So my dad takes me there. I get down there and I last about a week, if that. I got into a couple altercations with some people because, in Chicago, they're not real fond of white people. But it is what it is. So I talked to a guy that I met in there. We come up with this great idea that we would take off from there. We would run as soon as the first chance we got. Well, that next morning came. We went to chow. As soon as the tech turned his back, we bounced, right? So we take off. We're in Chicago, Illinois. Homeless, stranded. I live on the streets of Chicago for 2 days. It was the worst hell I've ever been in. Most degrading, the scariest time. And I've been in some pretty bad situations that is really scary, right? This time was scary because here I am in a whole nother place that is known for gangbang capital, right? And that's where I was at, right? And when you look at me, you can see I don't look like a church-going person, right? Today I am, but I don't look like one. Well, in this process, this guy that I'm with, he says we need to get to Danville, Illinois. Now, when we got to on our way to Danville, Illinois, we stopped at Navy Pier. We hung out there for few hours, and he finally picked us up, right? His buddy did. The first stop we made was to the dope house. Bought a few bags of H, and we slammed them. That's what we did, right? Now we're split. Rocked out of our mind. No money. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I can't call home because everybody's going to be mad at me because I ran from this place. Everybody's looking for me. This guy drops us off at this gas station. And this gas station was closed, so we walked across the street to a car wash. Now we're high, you know, living life, loving it, it's cool. Well, the cops pull up on us, ask us if what we're doing. Nothing, right? So he leaves. We walk around for a minute. By this time, it's starting to get light out and the gas station opens. We go in the gas station. You know, we have nothing whatsoever, right? Two idiots on the run is what it was. So I tell the guy, I say, hey man, I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be back out. He's like, all right, I'll be right out here. Cool. Now, mind you, I absolutely don't know anybody, right? Now, I got a point to my story. Just hold on. I go to the bathroom. I come out. This guy's gone. He left. Now, here I am on the run, warrants, and stranded in Danville, Illinois. You know, I walk back outside. I'm sitting there. I'm cussing God out. I'm cussing him out. I picked the phone up. I called my sister that passed away. Rest in peace, Kate. I love you, man. I call her dad. I said, hey, man, I need to get home. He's like, oh, my goodness, where are you at? What are you doing? Everybody's looking for you, man, blah, blah, blah. But I'm scared to tell him exactly where I'm at because I know there's a good chance they're going to send the cops for me. Well, this cop pulls back up and tells me that if I'm still standing there, because this is the same cop that's seen me 3 times now, if I'm still standing there, I'm going to jail. He leaves. I tell my sister's dad, like, please, man, send this money, man, help me out, right? You know, my faith was none. But let me tell you something. All them times I prayed and I begged God to take my life, he wouldn't do it, right? See, God knew something. He knew I had something in me that was going to shine one day, and it was going to be for him, right? He knew that someday I was going to be a really good dad. Maybe it wasn't then, because I was nowhere near a good dad. And he knew that I was going to be an even better grandpa. And today I'm blessed with that. I am a grandpa. And you know, I'm sitting there and there's this guy in this van. He's staring at me. He says, hey man, what's up? Now, excuse my language on this. I said, what's up, bro? I said, I ain't no faggot, man. What do you want? Now, I'm disrespecting this man. And he said, I want to help you. I said, oh, yeah? He said, I prayed for you. I said, well, did God tell you to help me? He said, as a matter of fact, my friend, he did. You know, that cop pulled back up to arrest me. And that guy said, I got him, officer. He was waiting on me. I'm here. Now, this guy don't know me from nothing. I've never met him a day in my life. And you know, I walked over to his van. And he said, won't you tell me your story? What story? I'm a junkie. Everybody hates me. Nobody wants me around. And I hate myself. He said, God loves you, bro. How? How can God love me and put me through the stuff he put me through? As I got into this guy's van, he said, I'm going to buy you a ticket to get you home. But in order to get this ticket, I got to give him my story. I said, I'm from Columbus, Ohio, man. I'm strung out. I'm on the run. I said, I don't want to live no more, man. He said, brother, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. He said, I left Columbus, Ohio on the run myself. He said, gang affiliated and all. You know, that man went to Chicago, Illinois and started a ministry service. God blessed him with that. Took him away from where he was at and put him there, right? Now, see, the point of my story is on this. That man took me fed me some Taco Bell, and gave me a one-way bus ticket back home. When I asked him for his address to send this money back, I don't even know if I was going to send it back. Maybe it was just one of them things I was saying to make myself feel good, to look good. He said, I don't want it back. He said, trust in the Lord. You know, God put that man in Danville, Illinois at that time to carry me. See, that's God carrying me when I couldn't walk. When I thought I was the only one walking, boy, was I wrong. That was God carrying me, man. Carrying me and embracing me, put his angels around me. I couldn't see it then. I didn't want to see it. My heart was full of hate. I hated stuff. I had no love in me no more. You know, I got back home to the bus station in Columbus, Ohio, and I walked from downtown Columbus to the Hilltop on the west side, Harris Avenue. That was the clique I was a part of, Harris Ave Mob. But I went from being a dope boy, a womanizer, all that, right, to a dope fiend. And that's the truth. A straight junkie. You know, I sat in this house and I got high. I got really, really high. And I felt this conviction for the first time ever in my life. I remember it now today when I think about it. That's when I felt it. I went next door and I used the phone and I turned myself in. I got arrested. I went to jail. I sat a few months in the workhouse. If anybody knows anything about Columbus, Ohio, and the workhouse, it's not the workhouse. They call it that because you're going to work with these. You're going to earn your respect in there. There's nothing given to you there. You will earn it. It don't matter what you belong to, who you are. You will earn your respect in there flat out. And I did, right? I made it through it. I don't brag on it, but I did, right? Because, see, God built me like this, right? I can weather a storm. Boy, it can storm, it can thunderstorm, and I'm going to still stand, right? I used to be very, very proud of that. And I'm not so proud of it no more, right? Because without God, I'm nothing. I'm nobody. I got out of jail. I went to Canton, Ohio. And that's when I hit rock bottom. I done things that I am not proud of on a daily basis. I praised the devil. I rocked with him. I shook his hand. I hugged him. I laughed with him. I cried with him, right? I left Canton, Ohio when I went to prison in 2014 to Richland. I was released from Richland prison 2015. I left Richland prison and came back to Indiana. Now, this is a place I'm from. I was born and raised in Goshen, Indiana. I swore I would never come back to this town, right? I come back with my best friend, Edmund Abney. He come pick me up. I come back home with him. I started smoking heroin again on Foyleys. It didn't take long, and I was shooting it. In that process, I went left again, but this time I'm in Elkhart, Indiana, where they hand out Buck Roger time. Everybody snitches. It's crazy, man. Nobody stands on nothing no more, right? I catch a case. I was set up. I go to prison. I get out of prison. I move in with my dad. When I moved in with my dad, I lied to him and told him I was doing good, but it didn't take long for him to realize that I wasn't doing so good at all. As time went, I violated, went back to prison. My dad actually is the one that called the cops on me in his house while I was asleep. That hurt me so bad that my pop turned on me, right? Sounds bad, huh? But now think of it like this. Would you let your son lay dead on a bed? Because that's what I was. It was done. I was out of it. I was dead. I was overdosed. He called the cops. And then in the process, tried to wake me up and tell me, Bob, please get up. Get out of here. The cops are coming. He felt really bad for what he done to me. I wake up to 5 cops on top of me in my bed. I had a ½ ounce of heroin in the shoe, some money, needles, meth pipe, everything laying on the table, a whole bunch of meth bagged up. First thing I think of when I wake up, I see these cops. I'm like, oh crap, all this stuff's in my room. My dad hid everything for me, everything. I hear my dad in his living room say, Bob, please, don't fight him. Go with him, son. Then I hear him ask the cop, please don't shoot him. He's not a bad person. You know, once again, that was God doing for me what I couldn't do for myself. And I'm thankful today for that. Because I went to prison again. I got kicked out of Westville and sent to Michigan City, Indiana. That's the jungle. Ha! Ain't no fighting in there. It's knife play. You better have that Pico and you better be about your business or you'll lose your life. Looking in somebody's cell could cost you your life. And I'm serious, man. Passing gas around somebody can cost you your life. Cutting in front of somebody in the line can cost your life. There is no fighting. They don't fight there. Nobody fights. They kill you. Through that incident, I got in trouble in there. I prayed to God, please help me. I am going to die if you don't help me. You know, when I got out of prison, my dad picked me up and took me to Arkansas for 1 year with him. For 1 year, I did everything with him. Everything my dad would do, I did. If it was something I normally do, I didn't do it no more. And it sucked at times, man. It did. It was horrible. God allowed me to be by the best man I have ever known in my entire life. And that's Scott Springer, my dad. The most solidest man I've ever met in my entire life is my dad. My dad saved my life. I moved from there and I came back to Indiana. I got with my wife. I got married. I bought a house. I started a life, a family, right? I got 3 kids now that are part of my life that I've never had. I've only got 1 biological son, and he is my entire world. But God put these other ones in my life for a reason. And you know, I say this because God did something for me once again that I couldn't do myself, right? See, God helped me build a foundation in his faith. And my foundation today is strong. I have a really good support system. I have great friends today. I have friends that are still struggling in addiction, and it's amazing because they message me. And now my advice to them always is pray. God will pull you out. And they don't hang up on me. They listen. Most of them will message me back and say, hey, I talked to him last night, man. Thank you, Bob. Hey, bro, it's not me. It's him. All glory to him, right? My whole point to this story right here was you have to trust in the Lord. You have to have faith. God will never put none of us in a situation that we can't handle. He will never put us in a place that his grace will not save us. I never believed that before. Today I do. I know this video has been long and people probably won't watch it, but somebody out there is going to, and they're going to relate to me. And I just want you to know, you can recover. You can. I didn't have a vein left in my body, man, to shoot out of. And today, my veins work fine. I wasn't employable. Today, I got a job. I wasn't lovable. Today, I got a wife and 3 kids in my house that love me. Sure, they get mad at me, and I get mad at them. But at the end of the day, it's my family. And God rebuilt my relationship with my son. Jaden Springer, you are my heart, my soul. I love everything about you. I wish I could have been a better dad when you was a kid to you. But son, you got to know something. If I didn't go through what I did, I wouldn't be the grandpa that I am today. I wouldn't. It wouldn't happen. You wouldn't be the dad you are today if you didn't experience the pain that your dad caused you. See, today you know what it feels like to not be in your son's life. You know what it's like for your dad not to be in your life, so you're in your son's life. It's amazing, man. I just wanted to get on here and tell this story because it was on my heart from last night. And my mother-in-law, Dee Whitrig, was 100% right. I need to learn to give God everything and trust him 100%. And this is something that I am truly going to try today. To try and not live with no paranoia, no anxiety. And truly understand I can't do it without him. If you're struggling in addiction, Felonies to Recovery is here to help you. I will talk to you. We can talk about sobriety. We can talk about life. We can talk about anything you want to talk about. I truly, honestly love helping people in sobriety. That being said, man, I love you guys. Sorry the video was so long, but I just really felt like I needed to let this out because it was really on my heart today. I hope everybody has a truly blessed and sober day today. And if you know anybody struggling, reach out to help them. Don't judge them. Help them. You don't got to enable them. Help them. I love you guys, man. Stay sober.